right. Hey, everybody. Meteorologist Sarah Gannon here with an update on a big forecast here for our Friday. We're tracking the chance for some record high temperatures and, of course, a chance. We're keeping an eye on our next storm system here, looking to roll through for your Friday evening. This will be probably our first chance of some thunderstorm activity, let alone the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorm activity here of this season. So certainly a big watch day that we've been keeping an eye on here for this week. So I am going to continue just kind of setting everything up here, and then we'll take a minute for a few seconds to kind of let everybody kind of join on, and we will get this party started. So those of you who may be watching on Facebook, I will keep an eye on the comments, so feel free to put any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that in there, and hopefully we can get through this here pretty quick this evening. So as you can see here on our screen, we are looking at your first alerts and what we've been talking about here. Some stronger winds on the way for tomorrow into the weekend, plus of course those warm temperatures and that storm potential for tomorrow. So daytime hours tomorrow, tracking the potential here for some record high temperatures across southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. That's looking pretty likely for tomorrow. We'll also see some breezy winds throughout the day. It'll be the evening hours that we look to bring in that strong to severe thunderstorm potential as we have a line of thunderstorms rolling through. So we do have a first alert day for tomorrow. So important to make sure you're staying weather aware throughout the day, and especially heading into the evening. I know a lot of folks, maybe heading out of town, having activities going on a Friday evening, of course, as we're heading into the weekend. But something to certainly keep an eye on here as we head towards tomorrow evening. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts and warnings. Our First Alert Weather, our KTTC weather app, a great tool to have in your back pocket, especially if you are heading out and about, maybe running some errands, some school activities, or maybe you're heading out of town or you have family coming this way. A great way to keep them safe and up to date. So then as we look ahead to Saturday, just kind of those wraparound bands of this system, we'll look to see that rolling through the area, so we could be even seeing some snow showers kind of mixing in there on Saturday. Outside skies are pretty quiet. We are starting to see some upper level cloud cover starting to filter in. Our low pressure system just coming out of the Nevada region, coming into the Four Corners region. So that is kind of that general storm track. We'll see this low pressure system coming out of the Four Corners region, heading into the upper Midwest, and this will have a very extensive cold front that will bring the potential for severe weather throughout a good chunk of the central part of the United States. So closer to home, we do have Storm Prediction Center placing us in that level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat in that category here for us for southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. So you can see that in that orange color there. We are, the level 3 threat is just butted up to our southernmost counties. So Waterloo area through central Iowa, under that level 3 threat. But I do want to zoom out a bit here. You can see even further south towards a good chunk of western Illinois into eastern Missouri, so including Peoria, St. Louis. They're in a level 4 out of a level 5 severe threat. So for us here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, maybe more of an isolated, scattered, strong to severe threat for us. In that region where they have that level 4, that is more of a widespread threat for severe storms. So, and I can even zoom this out here. You can just see how extensive this severe threat goes. Obviously, a more centrally located, elevated risk there in that kind of brighter pink color, but you can just see how extensive the potential for strong to severe activity stretches from northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. You can even see that kind of clipping there into Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. So this is a very potent system, very extensive system that will not only be plaguing the upper Midwest, but into the South. So a good chunk of the country we can be impacted by this throughout tomorrow. So I will continue to keep an eye on those comments here. But kind of driving ahead here, I want to play out future track for you. So this does have kind of that updated look at what we're expecting with the system to go through here. So this is one of our high resolution models, and we did just get kind of one of our later updates here not long ago. So overnight, we're quiet. Daytime hours tomorrow, we're quiet. We'll see some filtered sunshine, but some sunshine nonetheless. So daytime hours, fantastic. Almost like summer. Actually, temperatures, I should say, they'll be warming into those low to mid 70s. So we typically don't start to see those kinds of temperatures until like late May. So will very much feel like a very summer-like day tomorrow afternoon. So with that sunshine, of course, this is where we have that potential for some record high temperatures in our area. So storm arrival time, I think we'll start to see storms arriving on our southwesternmost corner there, so towards the Mason City area, by around 6, 7 o'clock. I think is kind of where we'll start to see that time frame as after 6 o'clock, essentially. So as we kind of play this out here, then I do think the storms start to arrive in the Rochester area, Decorah, Preston, up towards Pine Island, Zumbrota, Highway 52 corridor, essentially, towards about that 9 o'clock hour, and then progressing further towards the Mississippi by about 10 o'clock. And I think kind of the strongest of those storms looking to pass after about 10, 11 o'clock. I think kind of that Highway 52 corridor, maybe kind of that point where they start to kind of gradually weaken. Losing daytime heating, of course, is now, we'll see the sunset a little after 7. So give it a couple hours and then we'll start to lose some of that heating there. But after 11, I think we may see some lingering showers, maybe back behind it, but I think we should see kind of that main wave, maybe a few lingering showers back behind it. Otherwise, heading into Saturday morning, maybe some additional showers possible. Our severe threat exists for Friday evening, not expecting anything Saturday morning. So then as we look ahead to Saturday morning, you can see off to the west there, towards Marshall, Fairmont area, temperatures starting to cool down. So as conditions cool, we'll start to get more colder air on the backside of that system. So I think potentially by midday into the afternoon Saturday, as temperatures get cooler, because they will fall throughout the day, our highs on Saturday, we'll likely see those early in the day, temperatures falling throughout the late morning and into the afternoon. So with that, I think we have that potential for maybe some off and on stray rain, maybe even some snow showers mixing in. I think especially closer to I-35, we have that potential to see some of those stray snow showers kind of mixing in. So accumulation wise, really not expecting anything in terms of accumulation, maybe a dusting at most, but most models have been keeping us pretty limited on that snow chance, that snow accumulation there for Saturday. But if you are maybe doing some traveling, you'll definitely notice that temperature change, especially from Friday going into Saturday. But we'll have that cold front coming through, so that's what's going to help drop those temperatures throughout the day, and of course getting a little bit of that snow activity mixing in. So I think if you are out and about, maybe traveling, driving, just use some extra caution in case maybe you do hit a patch where it is snowing a little bit more, and maybe there is some minor accumulation there on the road, just kind of that dusting. It can slick up pretty quick. So just something to be mindful of as we play out what to expect Friday and into Saturday. So looking ahead to hazards, with any strong to severe thunderstorm activity, I think strong winds will be our main concern. I think that'll be our main hazard for tomorrow. Heavy downpours, of course, that's a given with any thunderstorm activity, but keeping our hail risk and our tornadic risk on the lower side. It's not completely zero. I don't think we can completely rule out the potential for maybe some hail and maybe a isolated quick spin up tornado. So if we have any tornadic threat, it would be right along that leading edge of those thunderstorms. And that would typically be what we would call maybe a QLCS tornado, where it's just very quick spins up, not super cellular in any manner. But I think we could maybe, if we get that tornadic threat, I think it would just be kind of one of those quick spin up tornadoes where it can be a little bit trickier to spot. But again, that potential hazard, not completely zero. But again, I do think wind will be our dominant hazard with this set of storms. Something else, though, in continuing to keep an eye on our models, just our model update from earlier this afternoon to now later this evening, there has been maybe a little bit of some weakening. Not necessarily saying that's a for sure thing, because we still have another 12, 24 hours before we actually have the system that hits us. You know, if we're looking at an arrival time of 6, 7 o'clock on the western edge, 9 o'clock in the Rochester area. That's still 24 hours out. So we can still get more of those updates with our models and whatnot, but kind of rambling here, sorry about that. But I still think our severe threat may be on the conditional side. I think we have the ingredients, but we don't have everything. But I think there's some factors that may potentially limit that severe potential for us. So I think if we can hit that in the right window, the right time frame, I think we can get it to go. However, there's been some talk of maybe some drier air sneaking in a little bit, which may be limiting that initial start time. So again, if we can get the storms to go when they're supposed to, and with all those ingredients just lining right up, I think we have a go here at that severe potential. However, if we don't, I think we'll still see rain, still see some thunderstorms, maybe some stronger thunderstorms, but I don't think our severe threat would be as prominent as if we had everything kind of lining all up. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining it all right. But I do think there is some aspect of a conditional threat for our area, but it's not completely non-existent. So I think it's still there, but it's a little bit more right place, right time to get that initiation. So I hope I'm explaining that in a well enough way for you guys. And again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, feel free to drop that in the comments. I'm trying to keep an eye on that here for you guys this evening. So let's take a look here at our record highs for tomorrow. So here's what we're expecting, as I mentioned, talking about those record high temperatures, looking at 70s in the area, expecting to see our high getting towards 74 in Rochester, 75 for the Mankato area, 73 in Albert Lea, 75 in Mason City, 76 in Decorah. And you can see that's kind of that top row. Those are our forecasted highs for tomorrow. That bottom row, those are our current standing records. So Rochester area, could have a chance here at challenging that record, maybe tying it, but Mankato, Albert Lea, Mason City, Decorah, all looking at the possibility here of breaking and setting new records for those towns for tomorrow's date. So that'll be pretty interesting to just see how warm our temperatures can get. Can we tie some records? Can we set some new records? I know this is way out of the norm for what we should be seeing here this time of the year. Upper 30s, low 40s, that's normal here for us this time of the year, not 70s. But of course, it has happened before. What's not to say that it won't happen again for tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see just how warm those temperatures can get for our Friday. See if we can't set any new records. And then we'll go here into the 7-day forecast for you. So we do have our first alert day for tomorrow. So do make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts and warnings, and just start staying weather aware throughout the day. I know the daytime hours are going to be fantastic, nice and warm and sunny, but just something to be mindful of here as we head into the evening hours. So again, on the backside of that system, bringing in some cooler air, some lingering showers, maybe even some snow showers possible there for Saturday. Temperatures will fall throughout the day. Sunday then, a little bit more seasonal there into those upper 30s, low 40s, but we're right back to the spring weather by Monday and Tuesday, early next week, 50s, 60s, maybe a little bit more of a blast back to reality for Wednesday, Thursday. I think Tuesday night into Wednesday, looking at the possibility of another system rolling through. That one, I think, at least most recent model runs have had a little bit more of a snow emphasis. But I do think there is the potential for some mixing in there as well. So keeping an eye on that one, but at this point in time, our main focus right now is tomorrow's system. So I think once we get past tomorrow and the severe threat for tomorrow, then our focus shifts to Wednesday. So we've got on the 7-day, we're keeping an eye on it. It's been in the models for the last few days, so we know that it's there. It's something that we'll continue to track, and of course there's still several days out from that system, so a lot can still change, but something that we're monitoring that we'll continue to keep an eye on. So that next system would be Tuesday night into Wednesday. So that's what we are looking ahead to. And I do have one other graphic for you guys. A couple folks asked about the lunar eclipse that we're expecting late tonight, early tomorrow. So our meteorologist David Burgett, he loves kind of doing some of this fun stuff that he can kind of break out and kind of doing some more of these kind of solar type stories and phenomenon and all of that. So he kind of looked into this a little bit for me. So I thought it'd be a fun little thing to show you guys here on the stream. Total lunar eclipse early tomorrow morning. So if you can see all those details there on your screen. So lunar eclipse is when we have the moon passing between Earth's darkest shadow, and in this case we're going to get more of a red hue. So some spots, some places, some people calling it a worm moon and others calling it a blood moon. So to each their own, I think, on what they're calling it. But I know some of these lunar type things, they have different names to it, or depending on what time of the year they happen, can have some different names to it. So so based on kind of timing here, it looks like 12:09 tonight. The partial eclipse begins. So this is when that moon is entering into, I think they're called umbra, into umbra. And then that's when it starts to kind of take over that red hue. So then it looks like our totality, so peak eclipse would be, I'm having a little hard time seeing this here. So 120, is it an 8 or a 6? I think that's an 8. 128 to 2:31 a.m. This is Central Time. That's when we'll see that red coloring. So big question is, why is it red? Well, a small portion of the sun's light isn't blocked by Earth, and so then the remaining light is filtered through Earth's atmosphere. That's actually pretty cool. So totality, or the best time to see the total lunar eclipse and see it in kind of that red color, would be about 1:30 to 2:30 tomorrow morning. So overnight tonight, early in the morning, 1:30 to 2:30 a.m. would be the best time for that. Then we'll see that red gradually fading, and I think it kind of exits there about 3:37 in the morning. So between midnight, 3 a.m., you can start to see the phases of the moon kind of doing its thing, and then it kind of loses that red hue. So I'm a little fun here for your Thursday evening. So if you want to stay up late, something fun to check out if you're into this kind of thing. So if you guys are out and about tonight, happen to capture some photos, send it our way, weather@kttc.com. You can also join our Facebook group if you're not already a part of it, our KTTC Weather Photo Community Group. That's a great spot to share your photos if you were out and about snapping some pictures, able to catch this phenomena. Otherwise, if you're like me, who's probably going to be sleeping at that time, not out, you can catch it the day after, in the morning, later in the morning after it's happened, and you can see those awesome pictures. So great thing to check out there. So I'll hop back over to Facebook here and see if there's any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. I'm not seeing anything. So I hope I'm kind of explaining the forecast here pretty straightforward. If you do have any questions here after I hop off the stream, feel free to drop something in the comments. I'll try to keep an eye on that here for tonight and into tomorrow. But otherwise, I'll have your latest forecast coming up here at 10 o'clock. And our meteorologist, Ted Schmidt, will have you covered all morning long into the lunch hour. Actually, I think David will do the noon show tomorrow. And then I'll be back for tomorrow evening. So we'll have you covered with all of your first alert forecast details. So I will kind of wrap it up there, kind of leave it, since I'm not seeing any questions or comments or anything. But I hope everybody has a fantastic Friday. Enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the warmth. Make sure you're staying weather aware and staying safe tomorrow evening as we look at thunderstorms, maybe even some strong to severe thunderstorms to roll through. So have a good Thursday night, everybody. Happy Friday, and have a great weekend. I'll see you again tomorrow, of course, later tonight tomorrow. But we'll have another weather check on Sunday. Our Derek Overland will be hopping online for that. So have a great one, everybody.